Journalist and commentator who has come all the way from Chennai, Mr. Rajesh Vishi. Please welcome him. நீங்க எல்லாரும் இங்க வருகை தந்திருக்கீங்க. இது வந்து my talk will be both half in Tamil and English, so to keeping with the audience here. நீங்க எல்லாம் வருகை தந்திருக்கீங்க, மிகவும் நன்றி நீங்க எல்லாம் வந்ததுக்கு. We are very very happy to welcome you all to this event. Today we are going to release the book written by my mother, Mrs. Balam Sundaresan. Today happens to be the 121st birth anniversary of my grandfather, Balam Sundaresan's father, K.G. Subramaniam, who also was a very eminent writer and lawyer. எங்க தாத்தாவோட எங்க அம்மாவோட அப்பாவோட 121வது பிறந்த நாள். அதனால இன்னைக்கு ஒரு விசேஷமான நாள் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை கொண்டாடுறதுக்கு. எனக்கு வந்து சின்ன வயசுல ஒரு 4-5 வயசு இருக்கும். When I was about 4 or 5 years, I remember my mother used to be writing a lot in Tamil in sheets of paper, foolscap paper used to call it. பெரிய பேப்பர்ல எழுதுவாங்க. And then she used to give it to my dad to post it. And then she will tell him, சொல்லுவா, மறக்காம return postage வைங்க, ஏன்னா in case the story is not accepted, then it has to come back to me because it's so much trouble writing all this big thing. So she used to do that. And then later on, so she got some published in magazines like Kalai Mahal and the Mari she has published, Kumudam and all those magazines. Adukapra she transitioned to writing in English. And then it would be typewritten. She would give it to my dad and then he would get it typewritten. And then again the same posting procedure would take place. So from that it has been a long journey. Now she is today going to release the first book on when she is 86 years old. So I will she will be talking about her journey afterwards, so I'm not going to take much of your time for that. So what I'd like to do first is talk a little bit, say a few words about our chief guest, Mr. Sivaswamy of Kalvi Thunai. He has over 35 years experience. He has worked at senior positions in multinationals in very many countries, in the USA, UK, Singapore, you name it. And then after all this experience, he retired and came to Coimbatore, and he is calling it his third innings. So in cricket parlance, his third innings, now he's decided to dedicate himself to serve society. What an amazing thing to do when you have retired. And he has started an NGO, ஒரு NGO தொடங்கியிருக்கார். அதோட பேர் வந்து கல்வி துணை. அது என்னன்னா, இந்த கவர்மெண்ட் ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கிற the children who study in government schools, அந்த குழந்தைகளுக்கு to provide them educational support so that they do well at school. And apart from that, அதை தவிர skill based education கொடுக்குறாங்க so that அவங்களுக்கு employability நல்லா இருக்கும் when they graduate from school. And not only that, he takes care of the holistic kind of approach to their development. Every day he provides them with nutritious food. Every single day he provides them with, so that those children, about how many children do you have, sir? 140 children. Amazing thing. And he was recently also nominated, I was told, for what is it called? Get the Hero. Get the Hero. 12 people were chosen and he was one of those. He and Manu were chosen. So, apart from that, he is also the father of a very fantastic singer. So it gives me very great pleasure, sir, to invite you to this event. And first, what I would like you to do, Elena, I'll give you the book. Can you release it? I'll give you a copy of the book. And I request the guest of honor to open the book and release it and retrieve the book. Yes, open it. It's like birthday gift. You have to open it. Wait, I'm going to Today you'll be called.
You'll be called ma'am today. You can't avoid that.
அப்படியே மேம் அப்படியே இருங்க சார் நீங்கள் எடுத்து தான் வந்துடுவோம். பேக்கில் பின்னாடி லைவ் போட்டு போதுண்ணா வாண்ணா இருப்பா நான் போட்டோ எடுக்க வேண்டாம்ப்பா நீ கூட நீ ரஹ்மான் படிக்கலாமா அப்படியே அப்படியே சார் ஓகே தேங்க்யூ அப்படியே அப்படியே சூப்பர் சார் படிச்சு அப்படியே 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 சார் அப்படியே 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 ஓகே சார் அப்படியே ஓகே Okay. Okay.
I would now like to request our chief guest, Shri Sivaswamy, to say a
Hare Krishna. I consider it a great honor to be in August company talking about the book launched by Balam. We know each other for the last 7-8 years since she moved into our neighborhood. But we never knew the latent potential in her to write such a beautiful book. Also, incidentally, Bhaskar happens to be related to us as a brother, and we've known her very closely. The family is known. All the stories are so interesting and wonderful. I was just wondering which one to talk. But Chitra said that I have a choice of the first and then talk about the music. first book is something, the first story is something very wonderful. Probably true to many of the people of my generation whose children have migrated to the US, and their children, the grandchildren, will come back to meet the grandmother, to introduce her husband. So nicely so nicely said, so beautifully said. And the kind of thought process that the grandmother went through in the background of her days when she was just married, and the kind of family that she grew up with, and how beautifully it is depicted and said. It's so nostalgic, so beautiful, so wonderful, that I would recommend. Not only people who have children abroad who are going to get married, it's very common in India too. I have 2 sons and both of them married outside the family and very happily settled. The beauty is that Asha, the granddaughter, introducing Mike, her husband, to Kamala, the grandmother. So beautiful. It's just wonderful. And the way it's concluded is something which you must read the book to understand. That the thought, the memory, the feelings, the emotion that is expressed, very simple English. I think this could be a part of text storytelling for many. Thank you very much. The other story which really, that I was told that I could briefly speak about is real music. Here is a Vidwan, SRB as he is known as, a violinist, very famous, well-renowned, well sought out. All the sabas program incomplete without Mr. SRB there. Plays the violin and entertains people. His son Mulli, from his young age, learned how to play the violin, and he got it from his father and also learned from the father. It so happened that suddenly a new musician, a violinist, came up in the city. His name was Vishwanathan Vishwa, who apparently was playing the music differently. Not the beaten path of Carnatic music, had played it differently. And some of the people who are ardent believers in Carnatic music cannot digest this. Same was the case with SR. It so happened the son only one day went and attended Vishwa's concert, and his father came to know of it from another friend of his who just slipped out to say that I saw your son in there. The father got furious. He got so upset, so this thing saying that, how can my son do this? The expression that is given on that is so nice, it's so beautiful. This doesn't happen only to a musician. It happens in different walks. You have specialists, maybe a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, and suddenly they find that son is not taking the beaten path. And then they feel a little disturbed. So it's a good learning process. It so happened that he disowned his son and he had to walk out of the house. And then time passed by and the father was not well. And his music career came down because of the unhappiness in him. He also started saying that I don't believe in God. Started talking, which was not very right of a famous musician like him. He fell sick. His mother, meanwhile, used to meet the son who left the home in the temple or in the marketplace and exchange notes. Suddenly one day he fell seriously sick. He was very unwell. So she said, it's time I must call the son. The son comes in. And he goes to the puja room, prostrates. The mother gives him the violin of the father, says, play this. So beautiful. He says, without father's permission, he plays the guitar, he plays the violin. He starts with very popular ragams. My knowledge of ragam is very poor. But when I read it, I could. Because my son is a musician. He plays it, and then he says to his wife, switch off the tape recorder. The son is playing. The father is not there in the room, he's in a different room. He says, as I told you sometime before, this doesn't restrict only to musicians. It goes across. You have a lot of specialists who think they're indispensable. But things are changing, and very nice to see a beautiful crowd here. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Balam, Mami.
You have made it more beautiful than what I have.
Hare Krishna.
I now request Chandra to offer a ponnadai to our chief guest. And I request Sri Bhaskar to come up to the stage and offer a small gift to... Where's Mr. Bhaskar? ஒரு கோரிக்கை யாரோ ஃபோன் கொஞ்சம் ஆஃப் பண்ணாமல் இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு. தயவு செய்து ஃபோன் ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. அப்புறம் பின்னாடியிலேருந்து கொஞ்சம் பேசுகிற சத்தம் இங்கே கேட்குறது. தயவு செய்து தவறுங்க. நான் சொன்னோடனே அடிக்கிறது ஃபோன். கொஞ்சம் செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க குயிக்காக யாரோட ஃபோன் அடிக்கிறது. My father, S.N. Sundaresan, he retired from LIC as marketing director. So it's with very great pleasure, I would like to next invite Sri Rajendra Kumar, Senior Division Manager of LIC of India, to say a few words. I just want to say a few things about Sri Rajendra Kumar. He was brought up in Assam, but Malayali. അതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് നല്ല ഒരു പരിചയമുണ്ട്. He completed his schooling in Assam and postgraduate in business administration, specialized in marketing and HR, fellow of the Insurance Institute of India, diploma in life insurance underwriting from Insurance Institute of India. He was marketing manager at Kozhikode division from 2021 to 2023. My father happened to be the division manager of Kozhikode, so very similar trajectory, sir. And he was from 1978 to 1981. And then after that, he moved to, on promotion as senior division manager, he moved to the Coimbatore division. My father also was a senior division manager of Coimbatore in 1985. So it's a very similar trajectory, sir. It's very great pleasure for me to welcome you and ask you to speak a few words about the book. Thank you so much.
This is not it. Because I have some scribbling inside.
Oh, you have some?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Can somebody see? Yeah. Is it the book? Can you check if he has made some
My name
notes?
is written. Madam has signed it.
Yeah, good evening to all of you. Most respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's a great pleasure. First and foremost, thank you, madam, for inviting me because I'm part of the Lives in India, right? Sir, Sundaresan sir used to be the 14th senior divisional manager of Coimbatore division, and I happen to be the 34th person. So there is some connection there also. Maybe after 20, I'm after him 20th person to man this particular very prestigious division of South Zone, Coimbatore division. Madam has told something about me, and I was actually born and brought up. My father was in railway. He retired as a divisional operating superintendent from Northeast Frontier Railway, Assam, Guwahati. I was in Bengal, I was in Assam. So the languages, if you ask me, I know very little about Tamil, but more about Bengali, Assami, Hindi, English and Malayalam. So this is the great opportunity for me being in Coimbatore, learning a new language, because I always believe that going through people, culture and all that has helped me a lot in building up my career. And I have gone through this book. Actually, I got that e-book of that was sent to me. And usually during this time, what happens is that I get very little time reading. My office hours starts around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and ends at around 10 o'clock or 11:30, because right now after this program I have got a video conference which will extend up to maybe 11 o'clock at night. So this is, but I enjoy it. That is a different way of living. Only thing is that always when I used to read any book and all that, nowadays we don't read much books because we are used to a world of Google and whatever is there. And I think Madam has written all these things in her blog post, right? Somewhere I read this somewhere. So what happens is that when I go through those books, I go to a time when I was in a railway colony. I was a small kid. My father used to be going to the railway station, and we used to play together. So the book only tells about life. What I have gone through some 5 or 6 stories, I have only understood one thing, is that this is the real life. And wherever that real life things comes, Madam has given comments about that this is a real story that has happened and all those things. So when I read those books, means those stories, means it went to my mind like I was actually a part of the story, and that is how I used to assimilate and I used to remember those stories. Small things I thought that okay, I can share, which I thought very wonderful. Like short play is there. There is a short play. It's only, I think only one play is there in that book. I think the love of comfort, where we come across a particular situation where someone enters into a house during those periods when they feel that they are going to help that family, and then one chartered accountant, one lady comes in picture, and some relative of them, and they tell about that this person is not okay. Every now and then he is dominant character who is not at all related to the person, to the family. Now that gives some account. Actually, this has happened in my life also. I have seen because we were in Assam. So what happens is that people from Kerala used to come over there for employment. because my father was as a divisional railway manager. So he used to provide small employment to people. So people used to come from here. So it so happened once, I still remember once, one person from Kerala came and he started staying in my house because my mother was a very nice lady. She used to give help to everyone, and my mom and dad was known as mom and mommy during those periods. So whenever we used to have in Kerala, we used to have the Vishu and the Onam as a very important festival. And all the Malayalis used to come over to my house and we used to enjoy that whole thing. So I was about small kid at that time. So I remember at a particular point of time, this person started dominating. And he used to rule, he used to create problems in the house and all that. Ultimately, my father had to intervene. There was no lady over there to intervene. My father had to intervene and send him back. So exactly ditto came over here in this play. So something great which you made me recollect about that. And regarding that vegetarian, vegan, right? So someone making a misunderstanding that vegan is a very awkward term. It is not a good term. So they lose their someone who has come for an alliance, and they feel that this is not a good thing, because I'm a pure vegetarian, though I have been in Assam, and I'm vegetarian, Baka vegetarian, in the sense that this vegetarian gives me a lot of feeling that I'm a vegetarian. I'm proud of that. Then the one thing, love through Instagram. See, something where madam has gone to an age where she is giving some advice to the youngsters, that we are now living in a world of social media where we are tempted by what is happening in the Facebook, making friends with the Facebook and Instagram. And one lady got into friendship through Instagram to a person, and then that person wanted her to go to Ooty. I think the place is Ooty, if I remember correctly. And then this lady is asking, no, you come over to me, to my house, seek my permission from my father, at least you tie a knot. But then that person is disagreeing. No. Ultimately, when she tells that, okay, at least you put sindoor on me, then the person tells the truth that I am not able to do that, mainly because of the fact, I'm sorry madam, because official contingency, this is a zonal manager calling, I have cut the phone. If he comes to know that I am here, it will be a problem. I'm sorry. I'm not taking the phone anyway, because this is a very urgent thing. He's executive director, zonal manager is executive director in LIC. So what I was driving at, I forgot. Yeah, Ooty. So it so happened that then the person is telling that I have a wife. Then she is asking, no, how come you do that? You divorce her and then get married to me. Then he is telling, I have 2 children. So from a world of those period, 1960s, 70s and all that, from that she has come to a stage where we have been, bothered more by the social media and how it is getting influenced through our children. So actually she is giving an advice on all that. That is why I said that this book is particularly, whatever the stories are there, it's simply about life. So that's something great, great thing of you, because though I have not seen Sundaresan sir, anyway, I could see her through and find that beauty where she has been, because she has been to Bombay and all that, because in LIC, sir retired as an executive director marketing, not as a market director, madam. It is called executive director marketing, ED marketing. So that word in LIC carries a lot of meaning. That post carries a lot of meaning. He is in charge of the marketing aspect. So by the time I think he retired, I had joined LIC. I was joined LIC in 1991. So maybe I was part of his activities, whatever he was doing for LIC of India. So I'm very happy today that I'm here. I'm able to talk to all those things, and I'm really thankful to Madam for giving me such an opportunity where I could recollect whatever things I had during my childhood. And I'm very ardent devotee of Rabindranath Tagore, because Rabindranath Tagore, Ravindra Sangeet, I think somewhere you have written Ravindra Sangeet you like, right madam? No, not written, but somewhere I read about you regarding you are passionate about Ravindra Sangeet's music and all those things, right? Music. Okay.
The story
Right, madam. So in Ravindra Sangeet, there is a small, I am a very, what do you call, I love Ravindra Sangeet. Anyone who has gone through Ravindra Sangeet? Yeah, so there is something like Rabindranath Tagore's poems being, there is a music composed by Rabindranath Tagore, and it goes along. And where one, because something that I always sing and enjoy is, I'll read the Bengali part, you may not understand. Ki gabo ami ki shunabo aji anando jane. That is what I should sing today, what I should feel today, I do not know. I am feeling blessed by the presence of this august audience, and particularly this book. I dedicate this to myself because this is a part of a story that comes in my mind. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Chitraji. Thank you.
My father would really appreciate you correcting me and saying he was executive director marketing. Thank you very much for that. And also I wanted to say one more thing. Shri Kalvi Shiva mentioned two loves, the story Two Loves. A few years back, it was Mr. Bhaskar who called my mother and said, "You have won a prize in the DNA magazine competition." You know for what? For Valentine's Day. Her story won the competition. And then they didn't inform her, and there was a cash prize of some 2,000 rupees or something like that. And my father never will let that go. So, spate of emails, and finally they gave her the money. So she got that 2,000 for that competition. So I would now like to request Sri Natarajan to come and offer Ponnadai to our guest of honor, Sri Rajendra Kumar. Of course.
I didn't trip. Anyway, I met Chitra's father in 1960, before Chitra was born. And it was 63 years back in LIC office in Chennai, 5th floor. And he took us to the top floor, no, the terrace. So we had a first introduction, is impeccably dressed. He was so handsome. And I can see in all the kids' faces that what Sundaresan was at that time. No? And Balam just had entered the matrimony and then started living there in Gopalapuram. So I remember that, so I just wanted to tell the senior divisional manager. Sorry to cut.
No, absolutely. Fantastic. இந்த பக்கம் பாருங்க. அப்படின்னு. I would like to request Mr. Karthik Kannan to come and offer a gift to our guest of honor, Sri Rajendra Kumar. The next part of the event is going to be a journalistic interview of the author. So we've got somebody come all the way from Chennai to do that. So what we are going to request is, we can request the chief guest, auntie, and the guest of honor, would you like to take your seats in the front row? And then we can have the author and the journalist to be next to each other. Say a few things about Rajesh Vishy as he's fondly called. He's a journalist for life, a commentator at heart, a very loving husband, and a fantastic father, and a pro bono. That very empathetic human being. I've seen that in all my interactions with him, and one who believes that the world is eternally beautiful. What a beautiful sentiment. Over 25 years in his profession as a journalist, Vishy has seen best of both worlds, traditional and digital, with leadership roles in broadcast and digital arms of Z Sports, 10 Sports, MSN, Microsoft, among others. Today, he mentors a large team of young writers and editors for Essentially Sports, one of America's top sports platforms. And he didn't want to miss this event, so he had to literally move mountains. Was it the Nilgiri mountains that you moved? He had to reschedule a lot of events, and he has come here to be here to greet what he says is an iconic 86-year-old writer. Thank you very much, Rajesh, and take it away now.
Very warm welcome to this wonderful evening. I must say it's a wonderful evening. I've been a part of many events before, but this one makes me emotional. I'm sure many of us are feeling a bit emotional today, right? And that's the beauty of this whole thing, right? It's an iconic moment. And, I'm going to ask you all before we start asking her some of the interesting things. I'm going to speak out some names. I know a lot of you have connections with the US over here, so, right, some children living there or something. I'm going to, talk three names now. Judy Blatt, Bestie Campbell, and Maxine Weintraub from Massachusetts. Any guesses what I'm talking about? Anyone? Judy Blatt, Bestie Campbell, and Maxine Weintraub. Anyone? Any guess? Wild guess. It could be a wild guess. Writers, okay, that's got past 2023. Back in May, there was this event in Massachusetts, and I remember reading about it. And when Chitra reached out last week about this event, I instantly remembered and went back and recollected. These three women together had written a book. And they were first-time authors. And Judy was 85, Maxine 87, and Bestie was 86. And all three of them had written. And today we have the fourth one as well, 86. Let's give her a round of applause. And Indians can never be far behind. They're always ahead. And I'm very proud to have you today. And, no amount of words can actually make us happy today. And, it's such a great moment. First of all, I'm going to call you, being a journalist, true journalist, I'm going to call her Balam ma'am. Right? So she has to get used to that word ma'am today. Right? So, first up, one common thing what I actually saw in this. I was sent the copy as well, but I don't want to do spoiler alerts because you all need to go back and read the book. And also you have a reading session as well, so you'll have some lovely excerpts coming in. So I don't want to do any spoiler alert there. But the one thing that caught my attention was, through the book, you have talked about a very important element, ma'am. Familial bonds and relationships. How important it's been when you're actually writing this whole book.
Which story?
Throughout the book, you see that importance of... I'll hold the mic for maybe, yeah. I see that, the value systems, bonds, relationships, like Mr. Rajiv as well said, it's the whole thing is like, it feels like it's our own life. How did you think about this book?
First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to my Guruji, Sri Prem Rawat. Through his knowledge, self-knowledge, he has given me the gift of self-knowledge. I am able to feel contentment and peace in my life. First, I wanted to say this. Secondly, nowadays, in the modern world, people are immersed in their own affairs. No time for anything else.
I'll hold this mic. It's working.
people are busy.
Used to that.
I can. People are so busy with their own things, so they don't get time for anything else. See, we have to spend some time with our family members. Every day, at least 5 minutes, the children can spend with the father, mother. How are you? They can ask. Even during when they are eating together, they are only looking at their phone. So I feel that relationships are very important in modern times.
And that can be vividly seen in the book throughout, right?
Yeah,
That can be. So take us through your journey itself. Now, what fascinated me first up was like, when I saw the title itself, Two Loves and Other Stories. How did you come about the name Two Loves?
That is, it describes a love that was in people felt in olden days.
Right, right.
You must have read this story.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to do the spoiler alert here.
Yeah.
But not just the first chapter of the book itself, but why did you choose that as the title of the book itself?
We discussed about the title for many days.
Right.
We somehow we ended up with this is the best title. So many titles we discussed among ourselves, which will be the best title for the book. Then passages from India and all those things we discussed. But then at last we decided Two Loves and Other. Two Loves is the very important story in this book.
Right. So you decided to go with that. So it's a lovely title, I must say. It's a lovely title. It's an instant attraction in that sense. Let's step back a little bit, and I need to ask you this, right? So this is a world that's actually looking for inspiration, and you provided a perfect one.
Thank you.
86, you can author your book.
Make so
Right.
so that impressed me very much, and then I wrote that story.
So it's a lovely touch of humor through the book as well, right? As we actually can start reading from tonight as well. Ma'am, the question that comes to my mind is, I know you also mentioned that your grandchild had you know
study. But he didn't allow me to join the men's college because there will be one or two girls only in the class where there will be many boys. He didn't want to.
And you were very beautiful back then. He had every reason.
In my father's eyes, I was very beautiful.
Oh, wow. How romantic was that? How romantic was that? Right? The other thing that also, catches my attention about you is like, you mentioned one sport which today's children are not even aware of. And that's, you were a good player of ball badminton.
Ball badminton,
Right?
yes.
I know when I was growing up, in all these little train journeys we used to take, right? And you would see those small stations around, and you would see those volleyball courts, which are converted into ball badminton courts. And I used to ask, my father was in railways at that time, what is that? And he said, that's ball badminton. And that's a very famous game back then.
No, then it was quite
So
popular.
can you share some experiences? Did your grandchildren and all even understand what that sport was?
I don't know about that. They are all into cricket and golf and all that. But I used to play badminton, and I used to get medals also in college for.
Wonderful, wonderful. See the other side of her, the secret side of her. There could be many more secret sides of her, for sure. I'm sure the twins will actually talk about it in some time. But, ma'am, I'm not going to keep this very long because I know people are all waiting there as well for your book reading session. You've traveled across many places, right? Do you see the world, you see more cultural similarities in the world, or you see cultural disparities in the world? What sums it up
There
better?
will be some differences, but basically all are human beings. Basic things are the same everywhere. That's what I think.
And empathy is the most popular word at home, right?
empathy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any question? Anyone from the audience as well? It'll be great to have about 4 or 5 questions from the audience if you want to ask her some hidden secrets about her. All right, sir. Yes, please go ahead, ma'am. I'll give you a mic. Yeah.
I'm her classmate, and she's my friend. For Balam, such a, what you say, sweet and quiet person, how did you become so bold to write the stories like this, Balam?
Because I was not bold, I could write. Because I can sit alone and write. I need. There will be nobody will be looking. I will be sitting and writing. So that doesn't require much courage.
Oh, a good one. Awesome one. Okay, we have one more question. Yes, sir.
No, I started the blog in 2010. That is, my granddaughter only taught me how to start a blog. My granddaughter, she is in London. She couldn't come today. She is a great artist also. She has done the drawings in this illustration for the book cover, and some drawings inside she has done. She is a good... she only taught me how to start a blog. And then I started in 2010. Every fortnight Vasu, a middle-aged man, Kavita's father. Atma, Vasu's wife and Kavita's mother. Kala, Kavita's friend and colleague. Harish, an eligible young bachelor.
I was initially offered the role of Vasu, a grumpy old man. I'm a grumpy old man in real life. In fiction, I wanted to be something different.
Now all opportunities are there.
Scene 1, 6:30 a.m., a city in Tamil Nadu. The setting is a living room in a 2-bedroom flat. Vasu, dressed in shorts and a t-shirt, is putting on his shoes.
Hey, Patu. Hey, Patu. How long am I to wait for my coffee? You know it's time for my walk.
Here is your coffee and some biscuits. Here is some coffee and your biscuits. Did you phone those people?
What people?
As if you don't know. You know very well what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the boy whose people came to see Kavita last week. You said you would contact them.
Padma, I've decided not to pursue that Balam.
Why? They were nice people and the boy was good looking.
The problem is, you don't think, Padma. He's only a graduate. Our Kavita has an MBA.
But the boy was very nice and good looking. Kavita seemed to like him.
Padma, Kavita is naive, just like you. She lacks experience. Do not worry. We will find her the best groom. She's so accomplished, we should not settle for an ordinary Balam.
You've been saying that like this for the past 5 years. You invite these boys and their families and then you find some fault or the other. I can't understand why you invite them without ensuring all aspects are acceptable. The first one you said was not good looking. The second one had an unmarried sister. The third one had a diabetic father. And the fourth one ate non-vegetarian.
Enough. I know what to do. Okay, ask.
Yes, if I say anything, you start shouting and shut my mouth. God alone can help my Kavita.
Scene 2, 8 a.m. living room. Padma is sitting at a dining table cutting vegetables. Kavita walks in.
Where's my lunch, Amma?
Here,
What's lunch today?
vegetable biryani.
Oh, Kala will love it. You know how much she likes your cooking, Amma. She swears you're the best cook in the world.
I cook for you and you distribute it to one and all.
Amma, where's Appa?
He has gone for his walk.
Amma, why did you tire yourself by arguing with Appa? I'm fed up of listening to your never-ending arguments. Doesn't matter, Amma. I'm happy to be an old maiden looking after you two. What's wrong with that?
Kavita, don't talk like that. I wish with all my heart to see you happily married. I don't understand why your Appa is like this. Why does he invite the boys, people without making proper inquiries? This time I had high hopes. I really liked the boy and his parents. He also liked you. And I thought you liked him. They were decent and simple people. I thought your father won't have any objection. You're 28 now. How long can we wait?
Amma, this has been going on for a long time. At least 5 men. I can't call them boys anymore. Have come to see me. You make soji and bhaji every time. It's time we stop this whole thing. At least Appa can find out their faults before inviting them to meet me. I feel awful dressing up to impress them every time.
I know how you feel.
You know, I feel somehow Appa doesn't trust me. Maybe he thinks once I get married, I won't care for you. He's gotten so used to spending freely. Let him do as he likes. He's been hard up for so long. You used to tell me how Appa could not stick to any job and you had to borrow money from neighbors and friends for your daily expenses. You even gave tuition to small children to earn some money.
Yeah, there were hard times. There were often times when he would be without work. He would, for some flimsy reason, he would fight with his manager and that would be the end. You know, we didn't have much money. I sold my vessels and even my ornaments. The tuition income in those days was meager, but you studied well and you have a good job. We are comfortable now.
And that's why Appa feels insecure. You also suffered, but you don't think like him.
I'm your mother. I want you to have a happy married life. I know Appa also loves you a lot. But he feels insecure. I have to trust in God. What else can I do?
Do you think I'll abandon you once I get married?
No, Kavita. I think we will have two people to care for us.
You're old-fashioned, Amma. I'm not particularly anxious to get married, you know. I'm happy to be with you. I love you both and I would love to look after you. But I'm firm about one thing. I will not subject myself to this girl-seeing thing again. Enough is enough. Tell him that. I'm leaving now.
Oh, my child. I wish I could do something. He has been dominating me for so long. I feel helpless. I do wish you had the courage to love someone and marry him.
Who? I have neither met anyone so far, nor am I likely to meet anyone in the near future. Even if I meet somebody willing enough to marry me, I'm sure Appa will not approve. I don't blame him, poor Appa. But I hate these girl-seeing mockeries. Please leave me alone. Give me some peace.
Oh God, please help my child.
Scene 3. The lunch room in Kavita's office. Kavita and Kala are eating their lunch and chatting.
You're very lucky, Kavita. You can enjoy your mother's mouth-watering dishes every day. My mother is a working woman and hardly gets any time to cook. Most of the time, we get our food from outside.
That's why I asked Amma to pack an extra portion for you.
Thank you, Kavita. By the way, what happened to your marriage proposal? They came to meet you, no?
Nothing, as usual. My father wants a perfect man, sort of Prince Charming, to come and marry me. You say I'm lucky, but I feel you're lucky to have married the person you wanted. How are things with you? Happy?
Yes, very happy. You know, we have different tastes in things. For example, I like South Indian classical music, and he is passionate about cricket and tennis. But we just enjoy our lives together. We take pleasure in just being together.
How nice it sounds.
I don't think your father would approve of Mahesh. He is 1 inch shorter than me, and he has studied only up until class 12. He is a sports coach.
Really? You never told me that. Does that not bring ego clashes?
But why? We like each other so much. That's very important, in my opinion.
But your parents?
My mommy and daddy have made me totally independent. They supported me throughout.
My parents are so old-fashioned.
But it is, after all, our life, Kavita. I think we must have the freedom to decide our future. I do think you should be more firm about what you want. You cannot always blame your parents. Come, it is time to go.
Scene 4, 2 years later. The same room in Kavita's house. 6 p.m. Padma is sitting watching a TV serial. Vasu comes in.
Patu, you always say I'm not worrying about Kavita's marriage. I finally decided on the groom.
Really? At last? God has opened his eyes. Who is the boy?
It's my friend Ilango. You know him. He helps me in my investments. He wants to marry Kavita.
But?
No buts. He likes her and has expressed his desire to marry her. I have decided that he will be our son-in-law.
He has all the defects for which you rejected all the warrants in the past. He is unattractive, short, not a postgraduate. You have said that his mother suffers from chronic asthma and he has sisters to be married.
Yes, I know. I agree he has some minor defects.
Minor?
Our Kavita is also getting on in years and you keep pestering me to fix her marriage. I have decided now. He's rich. I have asked him to come tomorrow to meet Kavita.
How can you do this? You used to say we have to get the best husband for Kavita. Now you are trying to fix a mediocre person. I can't understand your motive.
Amma, Appa, do you remember Harish? He came with his parents to our house 2 years back to see me. Don't you remember? At the time, Appa objected to Harish because he was only a graduate. But since then, he's completed his postgraduate degree and has a job in a big company. I met him by chance a few weeks back. And since then, we've met many times and we like each other very much.
Actually, it was not by chance. I planned to meet Kavita when I completed my MBA. I wanted to know if she was still unmarried.
This cannot be. Sorry, I have decided on a groom for her.
If she likes.
No, Kavita, I'm sorry. I've given my word.
I'm very sorry, Appa. We anticipated that you would raise some objections. So, we decided to take matters into our own hands. Amma, you said one day, I wish you would love someone and marry. Those words gave me courage. We registered our marriage today. I would have very much have liked for both of your consent, but we decided this is the best way. I assure you, Appa, nothing will change. I will be your daughter as always. Appa, I'm your chella ponnu. Please, Appa, forgive me. I can't bear it if you're angry with me. I'll always be your daughter. Harish is a very gentle person. You'll soon start liking him.
Sir, I know what we did was wrong. We would like to make amends. We both want to be married in the traditional way. Please, sir, help us arrange our wedding.
Padma, what shall we do?
Do what?
As usual, you don't think. Should we not start looking for a good Kalyana Mandapam? Don't you know how difficult it is to get a mandapam?
Oh, thank you, Appa.
You only think of Kalyana Mandapam. What about a caterer?
CPC.
I would now like to request Srimati Anu to propose the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Respected guests, Sri Kalvi Shivaswamy, Srimati Kalvi Mahalakshmi, our guest of honor, Sri Rajendra Kumar, Sri Rajesh Vishi, esteemed guests and members of the press. It's with immense joy and gratitude that we conclude this memorable book launch event, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for gracing this occasion with your presence. First and foremost, our sincere gratitude goes to our esteemed chief guest, Sri Shivaswamy. We're extremely honored to have you today here with us, and your insightful words will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on all of us. Not to mention your cliffhangers, which is going to make everyone want to run and get the book so they can read the ending of each of the stories. I would like to thank the guest of honor, Sri Rajendra Kumar, Senior Divisional Manager from LIC, for gracing the occasion and for his thoughtful words. And a heartfelt thanks to Sri Rajesh Vishi for doing a fantastic job moderating the Q&A session with the author. A huge thanks to Chitra for her masterful emceeing of this event, and a huge thanks to all the Balam and Sundareshan relatives and friends and family for their encouragement and support of the author. I'd like to extend a heartful thanks to the Garuda Press and for their hard work and commitment in bringing Two Loves and Other Stories to life. We're grateful to everyone who played a part, big or small, in making this event today possible. In particular, thanks to the management of Ardra Hall, and in particular to manager Mr. Shivakumar for arranging the auditorium and the mic system. Sindhu Shiva photographers for live streaming the event and for photography, and to Sri Annapurna for catering the food. We also thank the members of the press for being here today and for amplifying the impact of the book. To our friends and relatives who've joined us today from Coimbatore, from Perur, some all the way from Bangalore, Chennai, and many of you remotely from all over the world, your encouragement and love has been a constant source of motivation for Balam. We hope this book finds a special place in your hearts and your bookshelves, and we thank you for being part of this special occasion. Finally, I'd like to express our entire family's deep appreciation to the talented author, Srimati Balam Sundareshan, for giving us the gift of Two Loves and Other Stories. Your dedication, creativity, and ability to weave words into captivating stories have enriched the literary landscape. We as a family are truly honored to witness your success and to share this moment with you and be inspired by you. Before we go for dinner, which is right around the corner, I'd like to let you know that this book is available today at a half price of ₹200. You can have it and have the author sign it. The book signing will be inside the hall near that table, and dinner will be served outside. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you all for being part of this celebration and for making this day truly unforgettable. Thank you.
One word. Just one word. One last word. I know vote of thanks is over and I shouldn't be taking the stage again, but one last word, right? I didn't, because the reading session is now over, I can actually talk one line about the book. My favorite chapter so far in the little I've read about the book is the true love story. And I'm going to end tonight with a beautiful line she's written in that one. With a beautiful line, this is a true love story and a story of true love. And that's Balam Sundaresh.
Actually happened.
Yes.
In the story, who conducted the
Yes.
was my husband.
So, wow. So, wonderful, isn't it? So, on that note, everyone, I know all of you are a little hungry and all, but for autographs as well as for food. But can we all say 3 cheers for true love? 3 cheers. Hip hip. Hip hip.
Shouldn't we say Jai Shri Ram? If you like to buy the book, it's available there.